That's not metal, that's not metal, that's not metal, you're the broadcast, that's not metal.
Hello everybody, welcome to That's Not Metal, powered by EMP. We are here at Hellfest. Now, it's early Saturday morning. We saw a whole bunch of bands on Friday. We've given ourselves 30 seconds per band. That's what we're going to do. Who's the first band you saw?
I saw Vision of Disorder, who are one of the all-time great metalcore bands. If you haven't got Imprint, it's brilliant. I've got to say, these days, in 2016, 20 years after they formed, they move a little slower, but they don't sound any less ferocious than they ever did. In fact, to use a Bruce Dickinson type term, Tim Williams has never sounded better. They were great. Never.
So we saw All Pigs Must Die super early. It's okay, you can just edit it out, don't worry. Saw All Pigs Must Die super early. Now at Hellfest they do this zone called the War Zone, where 2,000 people will turn up to watch a band as heavy and as cult as All Pigs Must Die. It was ferocious. The sound, that low end, so deep, it feels like you need a nappy, it feels like you're going to shit yourself. The bass is so low. I was super stoked on it, and their first ever show in France as well, so stoked to catch that.
And big shout out to Kevin Baker, their lead singer, for giving full Max Cavalera metal brutality.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Killer. I also saw Killswitch Engage, who did pretty much the same thing as they did at Download last weekend, but again on the Warzone stage in the middle of the day to less people. It was brilliant. That end 5 songs, how can you fuck with?
So,
My Last Serenade,
Rose of Sharon, My
Curse, End of Heartache,
and In Due Time. In a row, they're taking the piss. I saw Halestorm, who I know it's not the coolest thing in the world to say, but when it comes to look at your face, when it comes to the hard rock thing, I think that Lizzie Hale's an absolute star, and she was struggling with her voice yesterday. You could hear that she was a little hoarse, but there was zero excuses, man. Just went for it, and even with half a voice, she sings with bigger bollocks than most guys.
I saw Earth.
Bollocks, that's English for balls.
Yeah, I saw Earth. Dylan Carson, of course, is probably most famous for being the man that sold Kurt Cobain the shotgun that he shot himself with.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day. I don't know why I'm smiling about that.
No, you shouldn't be. It's a great band on record, a classic band, but in a festival setting, especially with Vader in the background when they're trying to do the quiet bits. Vader were playing on the altar stage at the same time. All of the little quiet nuances that you want from Earth, all the build, didn't really translate into a particularly enjoyable festival set.
Right.
They're a great band, just not here.
I caught Bullet for My Valentine, and they've had a tough 18 months. I don't think it's fair I don't think I'd be out of order for saying, but it was good to see smiles back on faces with that band. It really matters. Halestorm did a drum solo in the middle of the day, and so did Bullet for My Valentine. Weird, kind of took the pace out of the set, but at the beginning and at the end, it was on fire, and it was really good to see Bullet back on form, because it's been a while.
I saw the Melvins, the lovely, lovely Melvins, who any band that can start a festival set with an 8-minute long avant-garde dirge rock 2-note bass.
So they weren't on the punk stage?
No. And then go into a totally straight cover of Juice by Kiss.
Wow.
I mean, that's why the Melvins are one of the most unique and brilliant and uncharacterisable bands in the world. Yeah, right, if you like that sort of thing. Really not for everyone, but I like getting fucked with. I think you've just got to go with it with the Melvins, and they sounded as heavy and distorted and squalling as any band you'll see this weekend. Super heavy.
So, in true British fashion, we brought the weather with us for only 10 minutes at the start of Hatebreed.
Yeah.
It rained cats and dogs. But by God, it added to the intensity. It made it much more. There's something about being pelted with rain that makes you more pumped. And I don't need more pumped at the best of times, but with Hatebreed playing as well, total greatest hit set, 50 minutes, leveled the place and left. It was fucking awesome.
The best band of the day, for me, of course, was always going to be Converge. I don't know if there is such a thing as a greatest hit set from Converge. I think they probably hate me for pointing out greatest hits, but Concubine, Fault and Fracture, You Fell Me, Worms Will Feed,
Dark Horse,
everything you could
all
ever want. After seeing the frankly awe-inspiring and jaw-dropping show that they did on the Blood Moon tour, that was something else entirely, but it was great to see Converge back as what they are, which is just a fucking ferocious punk band.
Incredible. I saw Volbeat, and it's really great because they don't really mean so much in the UK. To see them here and the crowd super into it, they played a lot of material from their new album Seal the Deal and Let's Boogie, which we were kind of lukewarm about.
Yeah.
Much better live, much better live. Straight into the Dropkick Murphys, who, like the crowd are like, they're up and down. It's very obvious what they like and don't like. Who knew France was so into Celtic punk? It went bananas. They were kind of in and out. Like when they were good, and when they were average, they were bang average.
Right.
And then came Rammstein, which was, frankly, we had this view that you see behind us, standing in the Jägermeister tent. We had that view for Rammstein, and watching that stage show with, it was a lot more, as much to do with lights as it was pyrotechnics last night, but the ingenuity of what they do. Like, there was nothing new in terms of the pyrotechnics, but the light show and the way that the lighting rig moves around, and on top of that, they had a longer set than they had at Download Festival, which meant that they added things like America from Rise to Rise. It was cool to see them doing album tracks as well as the big hitters, but when the big hitters come, man, like, I've been seeing that band since Mutta, and last night was the best Du Hast I have ever seen in my life.
Wow.
It was chaos.
Well, I didn't think I could see anything more spectacular or odd-looking than Rammstein, because I only caught a little tiny bit of it. But I went to watch Sunn O while Rammstein were on. I don't even know if this is music. It's definitely not songs, but I've got to say there's something so moving about watching that band. So it just, I don't know, it's like an outworldly experience. It's weird. I don't really know if I enjoyed it, but in terms of being sucked into the void of what that band are trying to create, it was a really unique, memorable and amazing thing to see, especially at a festival. And then straight into Kvelertak, and I don't want to do this to Kvelertak because I love them. I love the first couple of albums, but they came out, owl on head, loads of lights, the blast beats, Kvelertak, all that stuff, and then went into 1985, the Status Quo one from the new album, and the momentum just dropped. And even when they finished that, and they went into my favourite one, excuse me for not knowing Norwegian, but the one that goes, Wooden God,
It's beautiful, mate, it's beautiful.
It was played at half tempo, and the momentum went up and down so much that they feel to me like a band who are rapidly losing their identity.
So I saw a bit of The Offspring.
Yeah.
I thought that it was, again, like, after Rammstein, straight away, like, I like the fact that it's punk rock and it's minimalist, but fuck me, it's like watching, like, fucking a Hollywood blockbuster like Avengers or like a Marvel film, and then watching, like...
Some indie movie.
Yeah, some tiny indie movie with no budget at all. They played okay. I don't think age is being kind to The Offspring, if I'm honest. But,
Stupid, dumb shit, goddamn motherfucker. I'll take that all day long, mate.
Yeah,
Quality.
but they've had better days, but there were moments, staring at the sun straight into All I Want, unbelievable. And I saw In the Day, to end on a real positive, I saw if you are into thrash metal and you don't know the band Havoc, change that right now. Like, to see thrash played by angry young men, because obviously all the classic bands getting older, playing it slightly slower, seeing thrash played with fierce venom, it made my day.
Yeah.
Get your weekly dose of all things rock and metal with the That's Not Metal podcast. Never miss a thing by subscribing to us on iTunes and SoundCloud. That's Not Metal is powered by EMP. Get 10% off of any purchase on the freshest rock and metal merch around by using the code NOTMETAL at emp-online.co.uk.